Hello, my name is Georgia. Welcome to the launch of the Sacred Eagle Farm video channel. Through my business at learntofarm.ca, I help beginner farmers and homesteaders to build a solid foundation with livestock from the ground up. Although the adventure with my son Clayton and I begins in Ontario, Canada, in upcoming videos we'll be exploring all different aspects of livestock and our journey to our new farm in Nova Scotia. Stay tuned for when we give you a sneak peek of the beautiful farmstead. Today, for our first video, I thought it fitting to give you a little glimpse of why, after 40 years of working with livestock, I have chosen to teach beginner farmers and homesteaders instead of continuing to farm full-time. April 12, 2018 is a day that Clayton and I will never forget. It changed our lives forever in ways we could never have imagined. At the time, I was married on a beautiful homeschooling journey with my then 8-year-old son, Clayton. I worked on the farm full-time with my herd of rare breed red poll cattle, the Jerseys, sheep, horses, poultry, and fowl. I was the only breeder of the Pyrenean Mastiff in Canada, an ancient rare breed of giant livestock protection dog. We had recently found mostly international homes for our miracle litter of 16 puppies from a first-time mom, Brandy. Life was good, raising food for ourselves and others. We never saw it coming. 5 years ago today, Clayton and I hooked up a 16-foot flat rack wagon to my pickup truck, and we set off to go buy some much-needed straw for our many animals. About 7 minutes later, I was exiting a small town. There was a car traveling toward us at high speed. It crossed over the line. I assessed the situation. There was a small shoulder and a very deep ditch. There was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to get out of the way. The vehicle came 100% in our lane and was suddenly right in front of us when I slammed on the brakes and alerted Clayton that we were going to be hit. He says at that time, I turned the wheel at the last moment, just as he looked up to see the car smash into the driver's side front corner of the truck. As the floor of the truck disappeared, we were pushed into the ditch, and then the wagon landed on the back of the truck. My head flew all the way forward and all the way back, snapping my neck like a twig. Everything went black for me. From that moment on, around 4 p.m. on April 12th, 2018, life as I know it ceased to exist. Somehow we managed to survive. I thank God every day that Clayton's life was spared and that he wasn't too badly damaged. It took me a long time to figure out why I was given a second chance. I was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. I suffered a hangman's fracture of the C2 vertebrae, which means a double break in the second vertebrae of my neck, which is in most cases lethal, fatal. I also had a traumatic brain injury and a broken leg. I had to have a hard collar on my neck for every minute of the next 6 months. I was in a rental hospital bed in my dining room of my house for the next 10 months. After that, things sort of went downhill. I lost my marriage, my farm, my cows, most of my sheep. I could no longer breed my dogs, as the puppies weighed 25 to 40 pounds before going home, and that just wasn't in the cards for me anymore. After our farm had been sold by auction, Clayton and I had been fortunate enough to be able to stay on and rent the property, but within a short time frame, the farm was sold 2 more times before we actually had to leave. Clayton and I ended up homeless by 2021, living in freezing temperatures in a camper in a friend's pasture for several months. As J.K. Rowling once said, rock bottom becomes the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. With the continual turnover of the farm ownership, the realtors and new owners had no working knowledge of the property, whereas we'd been working that particular farm already for 6 years at that point. Although the seemingly endless showings were annoying, the amount of people that asked me to teach them how to farm was continually growing. So many people had the dream of having a homestead or small farm and had no idea where to begin. That is how my business, Learn to Farm, was born. And while on my healing journey, I started writing. The first book was much needed to process all that I have been through, and no need for anyone to read it. The second book was filled with inspiring animal stories and was recently published. It's called After the Eagles Came, A Farmer's Journey, and it is available on Amazon. These past 5 years, we've definitely been on a winding road to get us to this place. Clayton and I are looking forward to start our new life in Nova Scotia, creating our very own self-sufficient homestead that we've always dreamed about. The animals that will join us on our journey are of the greatest, the gentlest, quietest souls who have helped me to heal and allow me to work with them without getting hurt too much. We look forward to sharing our knowledge and our journey with you. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.